Hello, good evening, and welcome to this webinar. I'm checking if it's online. I guess it's online. Okay, thank you very much for attending. My name is Sergi Nogues, and I'm a specialist in the stress and subconscious mind reprogramming. And I'm going to do a presentation about the subconscious alignment to success in your life and business. So let me share my screen for the presentation. Here, I think we are set up. Yeah, let me check here in the cell phone. Yeah, it's going on. Okay, so as said, thank you very much for your attention. This presentation is about the subconscious belief system and the importance that it has to thrive, to have clarity, serenity, confidence, and flow in your personal life and in your business. This presentation has 4 parts. First part, an introduction to how the brain works, to the importance of the waves, the bioelectricity of the brain in order for learning, and how we relate, how we access the information, and how we interpret this information. A second part related on how we react and how we take decisions. It has to do with the 3 type of brains that we have. Then third part related to our internal dialogue. And here we will see our subconscious belief system, and we will give some test in order that you can test how is this subconscious belief system. And finally, the final part, it's about how we can reprogram with Psyche. This is a very interesting tool to reprogram the subconscious beliefs. So let me present briefly myself. I'm a stress releaser and subconscious mind reprogramming. With Psyche, I've facilitated over 7,000 processes with over 95% of success. And the mission is basically to boost your personal and business life. So let's go. Let's start with the first part, learning, behavior, and beliefs. Basically, we have these types of brain waves. This is related to the activity of the brain. So in the normal state, let's say when we are awake, our predominant state is in beta. Our brain is in beta. That means that we are awake, our senses, we perceive with the 5 senses, is the normal state when we are focused or working, in the normal day. Once we start to be more relaxed, let's say we do a sport, we do something that like meditation that help us to increase our focus, our brain goes into an alpha state. That means that the beta waves are not so important and the alpha become more important, okay? Later on, we'll see how important is this related to the learning process and to the behavior, okay? So finally, we have the delta and the theta. These 2 brain waves are meant to be the ones that we have when our brain goes into a more quiet bioelectrical state, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have activity. In fact, these 2 states, delta and theta, are the ones that are more convenient to have more creativity, more consciousness, more awareness. So in these 2 states is when really our consciousness and our mental state is at its best, okay? And finally, we have the gamma, that these brainwaves, they have like 2 sides. They can work in a heightened perception state, but they can also be related to the stress, to high stress levels. Okay? So, what is the importance of all these, the brain waves, in our process of learning? Very, very, very important. In fact, between our first months of lives, first weeks of lives, up to 2 years old, our brain basically works in a delta state, mainly. Okay, so basically, our brain is in this delta state. Is when our nervous system is created, all the system that will support our successful, our following years, will be created. And then we have between the 2 years old and the 7 years old, our brain switch to a theta state. So switches from delta state to a theta state. And this theta state is the most important state that our brain can acquire the most knowledgement. That's when we say, when kids, we are like, we have this amazing capacity of learning. Between these 2 and 7 years old is when we have our better capacity for learning. It's when all the programs, or most of them, of our behavior, of our attitude and habits will be programmed. So these 7 first years of any person are extremely important to program these subconscious beliefs programs. And these beliefs programs are fundamental, are crucial, are key to understand how we will react and respond to any situation in our life. So there are some authorities in the world of personal development and neuroscience, like Dr. Bruce Lipton, who sustain that up to 98% of all that we think, do, say, and feel, it's controlled by our subconscious mind. So basically, in our conscious mind, there are only the conscious acts, and then all the rest, it's processed in a subconscious level. So some differences, characteristics between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Conscious mind is voluntary, and the subconscious mind, everything is automated. The conscious mind has a very limited processing capacity, about 40 bits per second. And the subconscious mind, it has an incredible capacity, up to 40 million bits per second. So the capacity of processing of the subconscious mind is much more larger than the one of the conscious mind. Another interesting characteristic is that the conscious mind is attached to the time. So the thoughts that we have in a conscious level are thoughts of the past, of the present, of the future, the past or the future, and the subconscious mind only processes in a real time. This is very important in order to work with the subconscious mind, as we will see later. So basically, my question for you is, what part of this reality, of your reality, do you control? This is very important because the beliefs, our belief system, it's on the root, on the base of our reality. So here is a famous quote of Gandhi, who said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions, your habits, your values, and your values, your destiny or reality. So, according to your beliefs, you will create your reality. Part 2, conditioned behavior, how we react and how we take decisions. This is very important to understand that we have these 3 levels of the brain. We have the reptilian brain, that is the most primitive, the part of the brain that we share with reptilians, with other animals. And then the evolution came up with the limbic system, the one that is related with the emotions that we share also with some mammals. Okay. And finally, we have the neocortex, that is the newest part of the brain that it's still evolving. Okay. This is the part, as we will see later, that it's responsible for the rationality and other human actions that differentiate us from the rest of species. So basically, the reptilian brain is the one that makes the instinctive or survival function. Then the limbic brain or emotional is the one that develops the emotion responses or functions. And finally, the neocortex, that is the responsible for all the rational functions. So why is all this so important? Because first of all, the first response that we all give to any input that we receive, it's the response that gives the reptilian brain. This is not a conscious response. This is the quickest response, is automatic, instant, and it only has 2 values. According if the input I receive is a benefit or is a threat, we will respond in a different way. If the input, and everything is an input, think about it. Everything in our life is an input in our system. If that input that we receive, it's a benefit, I will open myself and I will relax. If that input that I receive, I perceive it, my system perceives it as a threat, it will create stress. And I will have one of these 3 responses, the famous fight or flight response, and also the paralyzation. I can do nothing because I'm so paralyzed that I cannot respond. Okay? So this is very important because this response always, always, always is there and is the one that acts first. The second response is the emotional response. This response is not so automatical, but is also very quick, with more possibilities, not only binary, like the other one, like the reptilian, but it's connected to the reptilian response. Because according if the input we receive is a benefit or a threat, then we will respond in an emotional way or another one. But very important, this response is created before the rational response. The emotional response responses to what we perceive and feel. That's why we can say that we are emotional beings who take decisions using these pre-programmed patterns according to our experience of reality, and afterwards we use our neocortex to justify those decisions. Happen this way because the rational response requires much more time because it involves more operations. and therefore it has more possibilities. Okay? So, conclusions and important points until now. Our reptilian and limbic system develop a basic role in our responses and decisions. And these responses and decisions are fully determined and conditioned for our learning, for our memories, for our experiences, and our system of values and subconscious beliefs system. That is why it's so important to understand and to know about these subconscious belief systems. So the coherence or alignment between our values, our subconscious belief system, and our desires in a conscious level is fundamental to explain and understand our mental, emotional, vital state. And not only that, but also to explain and understand the decisions that we take and our results in a personal level or in our business. So I have for you some questions. Ask yourself, what are your three main values now? Our values can change along our life. So ask yourself, what are your main three values right now? Ask yourself what decisions, attitudes you are taking or you are not that are aligned in coherence with these values. And ask yourself what decisions and attitudes you are taking that are not aligned with these values. Okay? Here, just by doing this exercise, you can understand and start to find these internal conflicts that are preventing of having you this success of these results that you want. And not only that, these internal conflicts explain the stress in a subconscious level that it's very, very, very important that it's created in your life. So let's go for the practical part of it. How we can identify these beliefs, how we can identify the beliefs that empower us and the beliefs that are creating the obstacles in our lives. How is your internal dialogue? How are you speaking to yourself? Are you speaking to yourself in a positive way? Or are you speaking to yourself in a negative way? With which ones of these expressions are you familiar? I cannot, I'm not good enough, I'm not sure, I'm afraid, I don't deserve, I think it's difficult, the change is difficult. Okay, all these are examples of self-limiting beliefs. So these beliefs, these statements that are creating self-sabotage to yourself. What about these new ones? Yes, I can. I am sure I'm gonna get it. I fully trust myself and my project. I'm sure everything will be okay. I adapt easily and take advantage of changes. How these new statements sound to you? All of them are examples of positive and empowering beliefs. Those ones that help you to achieve wherever you want. So here, just mentioning two quotes of two big guys. Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And as we saw, our thoughts are based in our beliefs. So if we keep our belief system positive and healthy, then we can expect a happy life, a positive life. And another interesting quote to reflect on is the one very popular from Henry Ford. Even whether if you think you can or you think you cannot, you are right. So, because the subconscious level doesn't make a distinction between the positive and the bad information, the negative one. That's very important because when we work with our subconscious belief system, we must work in a positive way, as we will see later. So, as a summary, the self-limiting beliefs create a negative mindset and unpleasant emotions. That means more pain, worse decision, and worse results. On the other side, the empowering beliefs generate a positive mindset with pleasant and positive emotions, and that means more pleasure and flow, more tranquility, more security, and therefore better decisions and better results. So simple as this. So the price of incoherence is very high. Stress, lack of clarity, fears, doubts, insecurities, procrastination, low vitality, inefficiency. With the coherence of our subconscious belief system, our values and our actions, we will achieve more serenity, clarity, security, confidence, effective action, and more vitality. Let's follow with the practical part, also very interesting, and how identify these beliefs. How identify if a belief is preventing us to achieve that goal that we want, or if it is in a positive way helping it. In a presential way, we do the kinesiology test, but since we are all over the world, and probably, I live in Spain, I travel pretty much around the world, but we can work this also online, and we have tools to do an auto test. I will explain now very quick about this auto test, but the people who are interested and who are interested in receiving a video about how to do this auto test, they can send me a WhatsApp or a Telegram, better, to Sergi Psyche Master. For the test explanations, I will send you a video. But let's quickly explain what's about this auto test. First of all, it will be with swallowing. That's why you have the picture here of the throat. And we have to do the calibration. That means that you will speak up your name, speak out loud. Let's say my name is Sergi. And once you finish it, you will try to swallow, okay? And then the next trial you have to do is with a name that it's not your name. Let's speak out, my name is Maria, and then I try to swallow right away. In my case, I cannot swallow. When I speak out my name is Sergi, I can swallow with no problem. And when I speak out, my name is Maria, I have like a knot in my throat and I cannot swallow. Okay, this is a very simple way that it needs practice as everything, but it can be very interesting and very quick. You can try it with the day of the week that we are. For instance, today is Thursday. So you speak out loud, today is Thursday, and then you try to swallow. I can. And speak it loud, today is Sunday, for instance, and then I cannot swallow. Okay? A second way to do the test is by your body movement. That is a different way that you can also try to speak out your name a couple, 3 times. Not, you don't need to hurry, just speak it loud, like, my name is Sergi. My name is Sergi. My name is Sergi. And then my body, in this case, goes forward. Okay, the C is from Spanish, yes. And then I try it with a name that is not my name, like Maria. And I speak it loud 3 times. My name is Maria. My name is Maria. And then my body starts to move backwards. Okay, so everybody can have its movement. So you can move on the side, but the important is that you identify your yes and your no. And once you are calibrated, then you can test any statement that you want, as we will see now. Okay, there is a third kind of test that I will explain in the video, not here because I'm with the presentation and it's a bit more complex, but I invite you to try these 2 first ones. And if you need some clarification or you want the video, again, you can send me a message and I will send you the video, okay? So if you are calibrated, if this test, this auto test has worked for you, you have clarity of signal of your yes and your no, then I invite you to test these essential beliefs. First of all, the beliefs related to the personal power belief system. Statements like, I believe in myself, I value myself, I respect myself, etc. If you test these beliefs and you get a strong answer, and a strong answer means a yes, okay, that means that your subconscious mind already has these beliefs. So here there is no internal conflict. If you say, I love myself, and your body moves to the yes direction, that means that in a subconscious level, you love yourself. So there is no conflict here. If when you say, I believe in me, or I believe in myself, your body gives you a no answer, or you cannot swallow, that means that your subconscious mind doesn't believe that. And why we are talking about subconscious mind? Because doing this test, we are doing it so quickly that we don't give time to the rational brain, to the neocortex, to evaluate if this is true or not. That's why it's important to be present when you say this. Normally, you work it with a facilitator because many people are very rational and are questioning, this is true, this is not true. If they go into this mind state, the test will not work, okay? We have to be very transparent, very clean with ourselves, and then the test will work, okay? And yeah, it's a very quick and very powerful way to find where we have these internal conflicts. Because let's say we want to earn $10,000 a month. Okay, let's do it. But what happens if we test, I believe in myself or I value myself, and this belief is not integrated in myself? That means that we will have great difficulties to earn $10,000 a month because we don't love, we don't value ourselves, we don't believe in ourselves. Okay, hopefully it's clear, all this. I invite you then to test all the beliefs or beliefs related to the adaptability to change, because life is in constant and permanent change. Our life, our personal life, our businesses, everything is changing all the time. So we have to have a very strong and healthy, positive subconscious belief system related to resilience and adaptability to change. So I invite you to test some of these beliefs. As you can see, the beliefs is very easy to formulate. A belief, in this way we work, is a sentence in personal name, so I. In personal present tense, I adapt. You see, it's always the verb is in personal in the present time, okay? In a positive, formulated in a positive way, okay? This is the characteristic that always have any statement or belief, because we are testing if it's integrated or not in a subconscious level. A third group, very important, of course, is the prosperity and abundance. Okay, any statement, you can test yourself where is your limit about I earn, generate 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 euros, dollars a month, your currency. I invite you to test where is your limit. Okay, I invite you to test how open you are to prosperity and abundance. Because if when you test, I am open to money, to receive money, you get a weak response or you get a no, here you will have a very important problem, a very internal conflict related to also your limbic and your reptilian brain. Do we understand now the importance of being open or close to anything in our life? Can be love, can be prosperity, can be relationship, etc. We are testing in a very, very, very primary level, but this level is the base of everything. Another group, very important as well, is the group of effective communication. I call effective communication the communication that is done with empathy, with kindness, with amability, but also with security, with clarity, with assertion. Communication has to be assertive and at the same time empathic to be effective. Of course, the effective communication is a key factor to have healthy and successful relationships and leadership. So I invite you to test any of these statements that you have here or any other one that you can create for yourself. Remember, first person, I, present tense, understand, I am, I communicate, and in a positive way. Okay? Finally, the fifth group, interesting for the entrepreneur and the business people, is the focus and productivity. So I invite you to test how is your subconscious belief system related to this. Okay? So, conclusions of all this, we are getting to the end of the webinar. Let me drink some water. So, with this test, you can identify your self-limiting beliefs, those beliefs that are preventing to achieve those goals that you want in your business or in your life. The self-limiting beliefs create stress, lack of clarity, lack of confidence, self-esteem, and therefore worse decisions and worse results. On the other side, the self-empowering and positive beliefs create more inner peace, that it's at the key of better decisions, of feeling better, of having more vitality, more clarity, more confidence. So I gave you a tool that you can explore and X-ray your subconscious belief system, that it's in the base of most of the explanations of the internal conflicts. You will understand what creates stress in a subconscious level. You will understand where you have your blockages and these internal conflicts. Therefore, understanding this subconscious belief system is basic to understand the results you are having in your business and your life. Last part, then, how do I improve my subconscious belief system? How do I remove these self-limiting beliefs and replace them for better beliefs? Here I will present you very briefly the tool that I've been using for some time right now, that, as I told you, allowed me to work over 7,000 processes worldwide with high success. This tool is called Psyche. Okay, Psyche is an amazing tool that was created by Rob Williams, psychologist and an amazing person from the States, United States, that created this system that it's very direct, very quick, and very effective to eliminate, to remove the self-limiting beliefs in a subconscious level and substitute them for better beliefs. Okay, there are other processes like hypnosis, but this one is the one that I can really, explain about the goodness of it, because it's my professional business about it. It's based on this tool, and of course my creativity as well. But it's very surprising how direct, how quick and effective this transformation happens. Because when you remove limiting beliefs, when you remove internal conflicts, then you experience a higher vitality, more clarity, more decision, and better results. So basically, Psyche, it's based in psychology and neuroscience tools, protocols proven and tested over 30 years. And as I said, very specific to work with the blockages in a subconscious level, creating an internal transformation, profound and lasting. This is very, very important, because when we replace a self-limiting belief with a positive, empowering belief with Psyche, this new positive belief stays there, lasting and in a long term. So basically, the process of Psyche improves the coherence of our values, our internal belief system with our goals in a conscious level. As I said, it's surprising, amazing, simple, how simple it is. We can work online, so no, and basically that's it. Getting this better clarity, this better internal peace, this better flow, and better results. Here, just at the end of the presentation, we have a neuro register that, a specific guy who works with these tools, with the neuro registers and the electroencephalogram. He put this system on my head while I was doing a test with Psyche. And here you can see just from the first minute, you have on the horizontal axis the minutes, and then the success on the vertical, how this was testing the alpha and theta frequencies, so the ones related to relaxation. So you can see the high percentage of relaxation that I got using this system in matter of minutes. Bear in mind that normally these tests are done with 25, 30 minutes, but in this case, just from the first minute, you could see the benefits of it. And then the brain waves, if we test the brain waves related to the stress, in this case, the gamma frequencies, you can see how very quick I could drop down this level of stress. You can see the depletion, the decreasing of the waves. So basically, that was to show you a little bit, well, of neuroscience, of how we can get this synchronization of hemispheres. This is called the whole brain state. You can Google, it's very interesting. Basically, it's very simple to understand. We activate the two hemispheres, and therefore the two hemispheres, the left brain and the right brain, they can work together. And that means that our thoughts, all our capacity, our cognitive capacities will be better, will perform better. We will feel much more calm, much more centered, much more focused. In this case, you can see from starting in a normal way how we, using the hemisphere synchronization, we can get this rising of the theta brainwave that are the desired ones to have more creativity, to have more facility to fix problems, to solve problems, and to perform better. So basically that's it. So just a summary, last slide. The benefits is minimize your stress level in a subconscious level and therefore improve your clarity, security, peace, confidence, better vitality, so better performance, better productivity, better decisions, and better action. Better quality of life, and better relationships, and better results in your business. To finish, again, the quote of Gandhi, the important, your belief system are at the root, is the beginning of your reality and your success. Thank you very much for your attention. Here you have my website. I am preparing it this moment where we are recording this webinar, 20th of June. I am preparing in English. So I guess in July it will be already in English. But as said, anyone who is interested in having the test, in talk to me, you have my information there in my website, but also I gave you in my presentation. And that's it. So let's back to the call here. Danny, are you around? I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I want to thank Daniel as well, the leader of Easy Busy in Spain, who introduced me to this amazing community. So I want to express him my thankfulness, my gratitude to invite me. And this is just my first presentation. So hopefully in the next future, there will be more. So thank you very much. Stay tuned, guys. Bye-bye.